you've seen my videos, I'm drunk in some of my videos. So don't think too much. I am. That's like their favorite, is when I'm drunk. So just don't overthink it, okay?
Hey, all my papers are falling. I'm celebrating! Thank you.
Dude, put your hand, and then I'm going to start it, and then you send it back, okay? Oh! Woo! Hi guys, it's Dutch. I'm here with my friend Sam and my friend Karen, my two Scorpio babes. And we are going to give you a video today, so I just want to give the disclaimer that neither Sam nor Karen are professionals in either of the fields that they will be speaking on, but they are very into it and well researched on it. Sam is going to be giving us a little astrological forecast for the rest of 2020, and Karen is going to be giving us a numerology forecast for the rest of 2020, and then after that I am going to be pulling cards, and yeah, so hopefully we can get some good predictions for what we should expect, and we can be prepared. Is there anything you'd like to tell about yourself, Sam?
Oh God, this is like when you get called on class and they tell you to tell something about yourself.
Sorry.
I don't know.
You're like, ah!
I like the color blue. I don't know.
Yay, she's like Lana Del Rey. And Karen, you want to say anything?
Yeah, I mean, I like the color purple. It's pretty rad. It's my favorite. It's my fave.
I like pink.
It's my fave. And even though I just want to say about myself and numerology is that I just love it so much, and it's guided me through a lot of things in my life. So I hope that I can help everybody with the numbers.
Ashe. Well, let's get into it.
So with Scorpio season wrapping up, I think a lot of old feelings for a lot of people came to the surface that people weren't prepared for. Unfortunately, you know, with Libra season, it was a pretty calm season, where Scorpio season is very passionate and it's very intense, and it'll make you feel your emotions even if you don't want to address them.
As well as trauma.
Exactly. So we just had a new moon in Scorpio on the 14th, and it created a lot for people to analyze what was going on in their life and kind of say, okay, well, this is where I am and things need to change. And it was a lot of emotional energy, but luckily there was Capricorn in the mix there to balance it out a little bit, and make it more manageable as opposed to it exploding with emotion. And
people get really hurt during Scorpio season, especially non-water signs. They have a really hard time.
Yes. And the thing is that especially if you're someone, just my experiences with all the types of signs and charts that I've dealt with, if you're someone who is a water sign and you're in a water sign season, you'll face challenges, but you'll come out of them very quickly, as opposed to if you're an air sign in a water sign season, it's going to be more of a challenge because you're not accustomed to that energy. You don't, especially if you're someone who isn't familiar with all the different types of energies throughout the year. If you're not used to it, then you're gonna be like, what is all of this? Like, what are all these feelings?
Yes.
Whereas, like, for me as a Scorpio, all of us as water signs, when we're in those emotions, we sit in it. And I think that is something that is hard for people to realize, is that when they're sad and stuff, they're like, well, why am I faced with these challenges? Why am I so sad? Sit with it and be comfortable with it. You don't have to soak and wallow, but be present in the moment and say, it's okay that I'm dealing with these challenges right now, because it'll be okay within a week and a month. Sit in it, acknowledge it, and then take the necessary steps and actions to move forward.
Let him up to let him out.
Exactly, because if we just hold it in and we're not letting it out, then it's just going to stay there and it's going to become that stagnant energy that ends up becoming negative energy. I unfortunately would rather, if I had stagnant energy, I'd rather try to clear it than let it brew and turn into that negative energy. And for the rest of 2020, we're hitting Sagittarius season,
Party season. I love Sag season. I do. I already feel all crazy from it.
Let me see, just really quick to remind myself where the placements will be.
Cool.
Let's see. Is this in December or am I in Okay. I have this app and it's awesome, but sometimes it confuses me.
Me with everything in life. I have this thing that's awesome, but sometimes it's confusing.
Okay, so in Sagittarius season, according to this, all the qualities will be well balanced. The least amount of element around that time will be air. So I imagine it being a difficult time for air, but luckily Mutable and Fixed and Cardinal will be all well balanced. Also, feminine and masculine energy will be almost split down the middle.
Perfect.
So even though air, might have a difficult time because their sign isn't being represented at the moment, they'll still have their other signs in their chart that'll at least keep them well balanced for the rest of the season.
And we really need that balance of the masculine and feminine, because damn, has it been like either one is thriving and
Yes.
the other one is suffering, and vice versa.
Exactly.
All year.
For sure.
And ever since I downloaded this chart, like, I'll look at things, I'll be like, oh, that's why this is happening today.
Mm-hmm.
And lately, like you said, for the past couple months, it's been either a lot of feminine and very little masculine, or it's a lot of masculine and very little feminine. And there was, I want to say it was, I'll have to look back at it at some point, but there was another time too, because we always focus on elements and we focus on masculine and feminine, but we forget cardinal, fixed, and mutable.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is that at one point it was cardinal energy was wicked strong. I want to say it was like middle of Libra season, maybe a little bit before that, and people who have fixed signs in their chart were like, what is going on? Because like cardinal energy is strong and fixed energy is very like, we like consistency, we like things done how we do it, and cardinal is like, nah, I'm gonna put my own spin on it and I'm gonna mess things up, and
It's very it moves too.
Yeah, exactly.
The fixed
It's
likes
very
to sit and think.
exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Where cardinal's like, let's go.
It's a lot of starting shit you don't finish.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And so what for the rest of Sagittarius season, it'll be pretty balanced from what I'm looking at here. No,
That's
we're not.
great.
We're not into February now. I was not in February when I was looking at it. It just happened to place there. So Capricorn season, there will be, let's see, where did I see it? Okay, stop moving.
While you're doing that, do you want to tell them the app you're using so they can get it if they want
yes. So I'm using Astro Future, which unfortunately I believe is only available on iPhones.
it?
It's a very, very cool app, though. It charts out everything, where your birth chart is, where the planets are that day. You can buy like expansion packs to see your compatibility with people and all types of things. I personally like it. I haven't bought all the expansion packs yet, but it's definitely a very good way to overview, and it gives you a nice rundown of what you're going through. It definitely works because when my management changed, it literally said in my chart for like 2 weeks straight that you're going to go through a drastic change in work and
Wow.
you're going to have to adjust for like 2 weeks. And I was like, wow, that's
Spot on.
spot on.
Yeah.
You couldn't fight that. So here we go. Okay, so where was it? Earth and fire it looks like during Capricorn season will be very, very prominent, and water will be like little to non-existent around Christmas time.
Interesting.
And masculine energy around Christmas time will be stronger than feminine, but it won't be as bad as it has been for the past couple months.
You know what? That makes sense though, because like when I'm thinking of winter and like the summer solstice and stuff, I do feel like I think of the masculine energy opposed to like the summer solstice, which I feel like is more feminine, you know?
Right. And then
Yeah, because there's a cooling, warming.
Mm-hmm. And so summer, like, it's interesting. So summer is the day that, you know, it's the summer solstice is the longest day of the year, and it's the day that darkness, technically in like pagan belief, darkness takes over light, because then now we go into like the dark hibernation of winter. And the winter solstice is the day when light takes its energy back.
Right.
And then we start moving into the days getting longer and spring is approaching.
So it looks like at the end here of Capricorn's, right around the end of Capricorn season, the way it'll end will be Earth and air will be really strong, which is interesting because they're not matching elements. No. So pretty much at the end it'll be, because this breaks it down in like pie charts, that's why I'm going like this. So fire will be very minimal, water will be very minimal, and then it's like less than half air, but then earth takes up the rest. And then fixed.
Solid start to the new year.
Great.
Fixed start.
So fixed is taking up, I would say like 60% of this chart, with very little mutable and a good chunk of cardinal, which makes sense because of the air and the earth that's going on. Mm-hmm. And it'll be a little bit more feminine than masculine. And then it is saying, this is saying just how it'll apply to me, and I'm not everyone, so. The moon will be in Pisces, though, around that time, which will be nice, because...
Little water. Splash of water.
Yeah. And to have the Pisces in such a strong position in the chart, you know, sun and moon will at least balance out that very strong air energy that we're going to feel.
That'll be good, too, because Pisces is mutable and Capricorn is... What is Capricorn?
I want to say Capricorn's fixed.
That's what I was thinking, too.
I could be wrong. Could be wrong.
I know. I could be wrong, too.
I would have to double check.
Because I think Taurus is cardinal, and...
I know Scorpio's fixed.
Yes, I know that. That's the only one I know.
Yeah, if I could guess, I would guess that Capricorn would be fixed. Just from the Capricorns I know, you know?
So just with this, so even though there's going to be strong air and earth, at least for, you know, the fixed water signs and fire signs, there's still going to be a lot of strong fixed energy. So even if it feels not your season or not your time, that'll at least keep it at bay.
I also want to say, too, with that fixed energy, this is just a psychic prediction, but my spirits have been saying that a lot of people are going to be, so if you've been on a twin flame journey, there was a lot of shifts that happened during Libra season, during creating that foundation of Libra season, because you said that was a 4-month, right? Libra?
September was a 4-month.
Yes.
We just came out of October was a 5-month.
Okay, yes. So, like, Libra was, like, laying those foundations.
Yeah.
October was really, like, a peek into what 2021 is going to be, because that's going to be a 5-year. And then Spirit has told me that, like, we're going to really, like, these holidays are going to be good for all of us because, you know, we've been so deprived of, like, the love and the connection and the family time and everything with all this stuff going on. So these holidays, even if we're celebrating in small groups, like I think a lot of us are going to be, it's still going to be really good for our heart space and our heart chakra.
Intimate, right?
Yes, intimate. And then Spirit also told me that around January, February, there's going to be a lot of people solidifying relationships. So, like, if you've been talking to someone or if you've been on this twin flame journey, that these relationships will be becoming more solid and more stable. So it's super interesting that you're saying it's going to be really fixed and a lot of earth, because that just makes a lot of sense.
Exactly. And I would say, just to kind of wrap up my piece, is that I don't know if you'll be uploading this before Scorpio season ends or right around the time that...
Probably in the next couple days.
So what I would recommend to people who have been having kind of a difficult time through Scorpio season, if you do tarot cards, that's great. If you don't, just kind of reflect within yourself. And what is so great is that Scorpio rules Pluto, which is, we are also known as the phoenix of the astrology signs.
The death card.
Yes. because, and when people say death card, they get scared. It's not death, it just means rebirth.
Change.
Love the death card.
Change.
It means
Yes.
big changes coming.
Big
Yep.
changes.
Big change.
So now would be the time to sit with yourself and say, where I am and where have these challenges been, and what can I transform into the new season, where things, if there's been stagnant energy, if there's been things that you're not sitting right with you, reflect within yourself and kind of ask yourself, okay, what are we going to transform and shed a new layer of skin this season?
It's great advice.
I agree.
And I want to say, too, to kind of piggyback off of that, I recently learned that just like the leaves, like the fall leaves, how the trees lose them, and it's like beautiful for the trees to let go, because it's gorgeous when the leaves are changing and the trees are letting go. We have to, like you were saying, look at the things that we need to let go so that we can have a peaceful hibernation, because I recently learned that we are really supposed to be, the whole fake new year for January, that's not the actual new year. A lot of people have different new years. Like, some people think their birthday is their new year. Some people think the start of Aries season because it's the start of the astrological charts. It's just different, I think, for each person. But the fact that we try to have like New Year's resolutions and stuff in January is so crazy, because you're supposed to be hibernating through the winter. So whatever it is that you need to release, it's important to do it now, like to finish up Scorpio season in that way, so that you can go into like these holidays and these fixed times and this hibernation of winter clear. Because a lot of people who have seasonal depression, it's actually just because they didn't let go of what they were supposed to let go of, so now they have to sit in their hibernation with their trauma and pain that they didn't let go of. So getting out those last bits of karma, trauma, and like you said, shedding that last layer of skin will make for a peaceful and happy winter.
And to keep in mind, too, that it's been a hard year for everyone.
Yes.
And
be gentle with yourself.
Be very gentle. And when you do that reflecting, because you're going to, especially in Scorpio season, you're going to dig deep and you're going to feel things you didn't want to feel. So the best thing to do when you have those challenges come up within yourself and you start beating yourself up, the best thing to do is reflect on the good things you did this year. Reflect on, did you get a new car? Did you get a new job? Did you have a job throughout this whole thing? Because, and if you didn't, like, that's okay too. We're all unfortunately going through this in some different kind of capacity. So
did you have a roof over your head even?
Exactly.
That's something to be
shelter,
grateful
food,
for.
Things like that.
Yeah.
Toilet paper.
Clean water. Toilet paper.
Fucking toilet paper.
Yes. Yeah.
So reflect on the good things that happened to you this year, because we have to hold on to that positivity, especially going into the cold winter months.
And starting a new year, like everyone.
Exactly.
It actually really bothers me that everybody keeps calling 2020 a dumpster fire, because I believe everything happens for a reason. And it's like, yeah, you can look at it as a dumpster fire, or like you were saying, you can look at it as the phoenix literally catching on fire, but then rising from the ashes anew. We have to change everything. Literally everything is changing.
Just like the Tower card. Everything
Yes.
has to fall to get rebuilt.
Because we built on a false foundation
Very
in
true.
every area of our society, of ourselves, literally everything.
And I completely agree with you on, that January is a weird time to be like new year, new me, because we're in the dead of winter. Like, if you really think you're gonna get to the gym, like, props for you, but like, I'm staying inside with my like fuzzy socks. Like,
Yes.
No. Take that time when you're ready. Like, I typically try to start reflecting around Scorpio season, because it's the end of the year, but it's like starting to get cold, but it's not like too cold yet. So, and start putting those things in motion. And I think the biggest thing is, let's not beat ourselves up at the end of the year when we didn't get things we wanted done, or we didn't get to the gym, because most of the gyms were closed anyways.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that's pretty much.
Thank you so much,
Yes,
Sam. That was
thank
amazing.
Oh.
Yay! Clap, clap, clap.
We love her!
Yay! Cool. That was awesome. Hey guys, so we're back for numerology. Sam unfortunately had to get abducted by aliens. Unfortunate for us, good for her.
Yeah, for sure.
Just kidding. She had to go look at a car. But now we're gonna get into the numerology from the beautiful Karen.
Oh my goodness, I love it so much. So I'm just going to tell everybody that this is the book. It's called Numerology and the Divine Triangle, and it's like my Bible, my faith, everything. It's everything. I read it, I take in what the energies are, and then I kind of intuitively decide what it means, I guess.
And it's by Faith Javane and Dusty Bunker. Oh,
I don't even know if it's still, I know. That's how I feel about it too. But it's like, it's what I use most of my information from. Some of it's internet research, and also all intuitive and just like feeling what things are and how they can guide you through your entire existence. So first I'm going to start with the year, right? So this has been a tumultuous year for some, great for others, depending on your perspective. And
a combo
for some, absolutely. Some going down and coming, rising above, and all of those kinds of things. But the numerology of the year is 4, which literally means in numerology stability. If you think of a square has 4 sides, it's stable. It is a symbol of like law and order, security, firmness. It has to do with your work and your order and your practicality, your construction, your stability, your endurance, your discipline. It relates to Earth because it's grounded, it's stable. Now some people may be like, well, that doesn't make any sense. Like, hasn't been that stable for me. But what it's about is we have seen things in our system and things degrade and downfall.
The Tower card.
And you've had to rebuild. And you've had the chance to rebuild a different structure, and that's what 4 is all about, building your stability.
On a strong foundation rather than a false foundation.
Which, the things crumble under the false, but they don't crumble under the sturdy foundation. The truth, exactly. And the formation, in the Bible, the formation of the earth took place on the 4th day. Numerology is in direct link.
Chills.
Yeah, I'm just saying the book as it's written. I'm not saying whether I believe it or not or anything in between, but there is numerology through the entire book that is written, and it coincides with numerology.
I will say the Bible is a good source, like, of information, and the Psalms are spells. So, like, Psalms can take your spell work to the next level, and the Bible is a good source to read from objectively, and like you were saying, to take what you will from it. I don't necessarily, and it's fine if some people feel this way, but I don't necessarily personally feel like it's a good thing to read into exactly word for word.
And I completely agree with Nikki.
But it's fine if other people feel like
it's definitely a story, for no doubt about it.
How they feel about it.
For sure. Also, under the energy of this, the energy surrounding all of us, because it's the year and it's a general energy for everybody, they realize, or you realize, that you can no longer scatter yourself. This year has been a year of going in and understanding who you are, and maybe you were so busy that this time of reflection and rest was like super important, and you realize that you can rebuild how your life was, and you can make it more productive for yourself in a more happier manner. So really, at the end of it, 2020 is all about building your structure. And just a little sneak peek, so 2021 is a whole vibration of 5. 5 is about change and freedom. So now you've built that solid ground to stand from, so you can get to the next level and then build up from that foundation and bring freedom and change to yourself. So that's just a little peek into that. As we're nearing the end of November, November was a 6 energy. So for those of you who don't know, it's the number of the month. So it would be 10 plus 2020. So 20 and 20, so 2 and 2. Oh, I'm sorry, November. So 1 and 1 is 2, and then plus 4 in 2020 is 6. And that's how you get the numerology for the month. It's conscientious though. It has a desire for like harmony. It's almost from like that 5 month of October of change. Now you're coming into it, now over that hump, or something has definitely shifted for you. And now you have a desire, now that you're more into it for the change, you want some harmony and you want a sense of balance coming in with that change.
I will say too, for me, 6 is always a number of physical manifestation, and I know for my life personally, I saw a lot of the things that I had been working spiritually or spell work wise coming into actual fruition and coming into the physical realm during this month.
Yes, I agree.
It's a manifestation number for me.
For Nikki, sometimes the numbers have general energy, but then work differently for others. And I have the same experience in my life. There's a general vibration and energy to the numbers that can guide you, and then through the day and through your life, these other numbers will come up that are guiding you personally. So sometimes they can have a little difference.
And tell them where they can see different numbers.
You can see different numbers everywhere, but normally license plates, buildings, receipts, even just glancing at the clock, which a lot of you now know, but it's the truth though. Like, I went to go look in an apartment yesterday, and I'm not really quite sure, but the clock was on the stove, and it was blinking, right? Blinking, 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 and I'm trying to make a decision. I look over at the clock, and it's 111.
Yeah.
Like, things like that. Things like that happen all the time, you know what I mean? It's about living in your moment as well. So if you're kind of just being aware of what's going on around you, you'll see them. And they're always telling you when you see them and you see signs and they resonate with you, you are on the right path. Every time you see a triple digit, it's just letting you know that you're doing it. You know what I mean? You're in the direction. You're in a great direction. So just remember that. 6 also is about, as we come into Thanksgiving and come into the idea of the leaves falling and going into a resting period, it's about family. And certain responsibilities and things can come about with this number. And they say that, you know, you may have to change something within your home. Redecorating, remodeling it's a really good thing to do in this way. Yeah, completely. That is a good example of what you can do. You can get creative with your space, even moving. You can even, under this vibration is really strong. So in this month of November, if you felt like maybe you should look into it more, because it's a good vibration for like getting up and just either remodeling, redecorating, or just redoing your entire home and moving somewhere else.
Sag season too, because Sag, I believe, is cardinal, and Sag to me is always that like go-getter, let's do it energy.
Absolutely. And the other thing that can happen, that may have happened in this month for you, I know I'm kind of like going backwards and not really guiding you, but I'm letting you know that if you're in a relationship, that relationship, in a romantic relationship and or a friendship, it will go to a next level of commitment in this month. It may go to marriage or into a like relationship that's just super solid and super connected, and like it just goes to the next level, that kind of like real connection with somebody. And it can be romantic or friendship, it doesn't really matter.
Or if you're in separation with someone, because I know a lot of my viewers are in separation, that person might manifest in some way back into your life. It may be in the form of a follow on social media, maybe in the form of you keep running into them in person, you know? So would you say that would make sense
absolutely.
too?
Yeah,
Okay,
absolutely.
Cool. For people who aren't necessarily dating the person but have a person?
Right, absolutely. I completely agree. Yeah,
Cool.
That energy can totally, absolutely go into that. There is something that could happen within family or close friends where you need to take on a responsibility for them, and that's okay to do. You just have to make sure that you respect your own boundaries. You can do things for people, but you don't want to wear yourself thin. So if something comes up that's important that you need to do for your family, cheerfully do it, but just don't overextend yourself, because you have to see it all through to the end, or it could get messy. So if you make a commitment, just know it's to your boundaries and your boundaries only. And like I said, if you can find that sense of harmony and balance from the change of freedom from October and really dive into like changing your home in any kind of way that you see fit, finding the balance and the harmony within your change, creating these new connections and relationships within this month, it can be a really positive month for you. And at this point, over halfway through, how has it been for you? Have you been able to like balance in all of that, and everything I'm saying is singing true, or were you not able to and you're like, oh, but that's okay, it's fine. It's a learning curve if you didn't. But again, like hopefully you're able to stay in all these things and have a positive energy.
And it's good to just reflect so that you can use the number to your advantage in the future, because when you know better, you do better.
Which I will tell you right now that we go back to the number 6 vibration in January. So usually it's a cycle of 1 through 9. 0 is like the 0 point, but we go 1 to 9. And usually you go in the cycle, but because the year's changing, we backtrack. So we go in December into 7, and then in January we come back to 6. So now we're back into, so you get a second chance, basically.
That's amazing.
In numerology, yeah, and then you go back into a 7-month in February. So anything that happens in these next 2 months, you weren't able to just get there, you'll be able to get there. You know what I mean? You know
Pick
what I mean?
up the pieces.
Totally.
And something I want to mention too, astrologically speaking, a lot of the planets are doing the same thing that they were doing in March right now. So like, you know, March, April time when everything was first shutting down, I don't know about everyone else, but I did not handle things as well as I could have, so I was panicking like a lot of people, and I felt like this time of year, especially with the repeat of certain energies, I was really able to see where I fucked up before, and kind of make those changes within myself to have a more copacetic relationship with what was going on astrologically this time of year, and I was very proud of myself for that.
Yeah, that's an amazing. That's how you use this to your advantage, right? Once you get an understanding of it, even if you don't get it right the first time, it doesn't matter. It's gonna cycle back again, and you'll get another chance. It's all right. And you learned a lesson. Like that's pretty amazing. Yeah. I'm just gonna interject and say, but in this book you can find it too. But every number has a tarot match. So the 6 is the Lover's Tarot. So with all the twin flame energy and stuff that we've talked about, if you think about that, right, and this number is about vibration and is about harmony and family and community, right, and whatever that means to you. But when we come back into January, maybe something starts to shift in that twin flame relationship, because now we've gone 6 and 7, and now we're going to 6 and 7 again.
Wait, which is what Spirit said too, that people are going to be coming into the more solid forms of the relationship.
Exactly.
In the fixed energy, the fixed earth energy, in the 6th energy. Holy shit!
Crazy, right?
Yeah.
It all matches up. Oh my god,
That's
she's
amazing.
so cute. Okay. Oh my
You're
god.
so cute.
No. All right, I can't even.
Show them your socks.
Oh, I have Care Bears. Care Bears.
Because she's a Care Bear.
All right, Care Bear. I can't show you my belly badge because that's secret, but maybe another time. Yeah, maybe another time. All right, so that's us coming to the end of the month, and hopefully some of that information resonated with you.
I think it 100%.
But the next one is really, I'm really into this just because of what we talked about earlier with Sam, and the idea of Nikki talking about coming up for a resting period as we go into the winter, and celebrate the winter solstice and kind of like settle down into our nests more or less. So 7 is the number that seeks answers. And what that means is that that's in yourself. It is the number that goes into quiet, like reflection, just like Sam said, quiet reflection of you and yourself. And to come out of it, like knowing more, because that's what the vibration wants you to do, to like settle into it and really figure it out. It is opening up you as an individual towards spirituality and the existence of your soul. Why are you here? And you can take this vibration if you really can get into it and really figure it out. The energy calls to you to be in solitude and to be in your own nature, and that doesn't necessarily mean you have to be outside, but in a place that represents your nature, where you're comfortable, where you can have that solitude and really introspect into what's going on with you. You want to be alone. You might want to be alone, right, because of this introspection. However, the part of you that wants some socialization, which has been hard but you're not going to want to be around anybody who doesn't share what you're into.
Big time. I've been feeling that already this month.
Me too. So let's just say, for example, with me, I love numerology and I love talking about all the things like I did with Sam and Nikki. Like, I just want to talk to Sam and Nikki all for the month of December. Like, I just want to talk to them about all the things, about all of it forever, and all the miracles and all of it. But then my friend who, lives up the street and I see her every once in a while, we're not going to hang out as much.
It's boring.
I don't want to say that, but we're just
I'm finding myself bored though with talking to people who don't have my same interests.
Yeah, so how much did you pay for milk? You know what I mean? Like,
the masks are falling off.
Right, but you don't, as in the 7 energy, like, you're just not into it, so you don't even gear towards it. You gravitate towards those same people, or more or less solitude. The 7 really calls for you to introspect. It's really it's an analysis of you and your soul. Under this vibration, another great thing that happens, and around Christmas, I suppose, I want to say the celebration of the winter solstice. That's what I'm going to say. I'm not going to say that. that's because that's what I feel that it is. Celebration of the winter solstice. Certain goals that you have or you had this year can magically just happen in the month without any effort from you. Like,
Makes me happy.
no effort. The energy also relates to the health of your body. And why that is because your light body is super highly sensitive during this energy because you're introspective, right? You're figuring out your soul. So your light body is almost like it's exposed. So
Whoa.
yeah,
Say
right.
that again. Say it again.
So it's like your light body is being exposed because you're opening up and reaching in, right? So now you've caused an exposure, which you need to do, but you need to be aware of that because that actually can like manifest into physical things as well.
And I think with everything going on, we all need to be more conscious about, you know, the food we're putting in our body.
For sure.
We need to be way more conscious too about things that just deplete our energy that can make us sick as well, like how we were talking about we're going to have to slow down. I don't know about you, but every time I'd be going and Spirit would be like, Nikki, slow down, and I wouldn't, I would get physically sick because I didn't slow down. I saw this great meme that was like, take time to take care of your health before you're forced to take time to take care of your illness.
So that's what the numbers, I'm going to get to that. I'm going to get to that. That's exactly what the 7's about. That's exactly what it's about. So I'm going to read these words. They're from the book, but this is just an idea of what, this isn't like, I'm going to go into like the real idea of 7 temporary energy, but this is the energy of the 7. This is what it constantly puts out in any type of way. It's quiet, it's introspective, it's intuitive, it's analytical, it's inspirational, it's reclusive, it's it's mystical. Those are all the things the 7 is. 7 is, in some things you'll see online, is spirituality. But that's only because you're going in and seeking the rest and really like taking the time to really concentrate on your soul. So as a 7 temporary vibration, it's like, it's reflective, it's rest, it's health, it's vacation. Because you want to rest, it's really a good time to like go do something that's a vacation. Like,
hey, and if you can't vacation, me and Sam actually did this great thing where we staycationed, where we stayed in our state, but we found this little tiny house in the middle of the woods for an Airbnb, and that was so nice because there was no Wi-Fi, there was nothing, so it really felt like we were no longer in, we felt like we were in a completely different state.
yeah, it's like you left out of it.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
But we didn't, because I know some places, like, you can't cross borders, you have to self-quarantine, so there are, I talked about this a lot, and I think a lot of diviners have talked about this a lot. Even though there's certain things we're not allowed to do, there's certain things we're not allowed to say, you know, because the censorship is insane right now. There are ways that we can get around that. We are smarter and more powerful than the system that's trying to hold us back.
Agreed. She's always right.
Thanks.
She is. She's spot on.
Karen's my cheerleader.
Woo, I love her so much.
I love you so much.
I do though. So in this time though, and when we're introspecting into ourselves in the month of December as we're like laying down for that long winter nap, you really want to ponder, what do you want in your relationships, in your goals, in your projects, whatever's going on in your life? What do you want from it? And then keep a journal of it. Like, really follow your intuition on the things that you want. Write it down, because those dreams and those visions are like, can manifest into something that is even better, and that's why it's a time to go in.
And when you're journaling, write like you already have it. That's a really good manifestation
It is a really
technique.
good manifestation.
So, like, say you want a new house, you write and you say, today I walked through the front door of my new house for the first time. It smelled like this. The light was like exactly what you would picture.
Details.
Yes.
Details.
And feel it when you're writing
Yeah.
it. Actually travel into the future where you have these things that you want.
Which is another thing, to side note, about vacation. You don't have to do physical vacation. You can take this time to do more meditation journey. You can do that. You can go into the intention of a meditation, even if you have to do a guided meditation. It doesn't matter. Any kind of meditation with the intention of like, I'm going to journey. That's going on a vacation, because that's giving your whole existence a vacation.
That's great advice.
Yeah, and being able to travel out of all the other busyness around you. So that's a really great way to do it.
And
you
that's
do that every
cheap.
day. And you can do it every day. But it's also a great time for things like astrology and numerology and metaphysical and all of it, because the 7 is spiritual and introspective. So it's like the idea of being able to go in so you can push out. You know what I mean? And really come out of it like
blooming, like a
right,
flower.
right. And
Yeah.
the 7 tarot matches up with the Chariot.
Ah,
So that
wow.
this is all
Movement,
December,
guys,
right?
Movement.
There's an idea of advice to not push yourself, get overly concerned with your finances. Like, just things will just literally magically work under this vibration. So let it work for you.
I'm going to share a little something. So I just had to get my car fixed. It was a very expensive fix. It was $540, and I was like, "Whoo, my heart." But then I work for a lot of you know I'm a nanny, and they haven't really needed me, but they wanted to keep me in case, they had to go back to work. So they were paying me just $300 a month, which is less than my regular salary, but just a little bit to keep me there, So I literally didn't have to do anything. I just was getting paid to do nothing. And so I have to pay this car fee, and I'm thinking, oh man, got to take it out of my savings, whatever. And then I don't ask them for the money because I'm literally not doing anything for it. So I'm not going to be like, where's my money for my nothingness?
Right.
So she texts me the day I find out how much I have to pay for my car. She goes, oh my gosh, I forgot to pay you for October. Let me get you that check. So
Like that. It's like that.
Yes.
That's how things work. That's how
Yes.
it works. Yeah, that's how it works. It's pretty amazing. That's really how, and just let it, if you don't push an issue and that's another law of manifestation. Like, you can think about it, you can also just let it go and let the energy do its thing for you. Maybe you have to wait a little bit longer, but it's going to come back, and it's going to come back to you. So
it's already there.
It's already there. She's right. Like I said, the 7 rules your physical body. So you need to rest and take care of like minor problems. Because if you don't, what's going to happen is that it's going to bring on more serious issues, which is then going to cause you to slow down. So either way, under this energy, you either just decide to slow down, take a minute, rest, and like I said, introspect, or you decide that you're not going to do that and you're going to push yourself under the energy. It's then going to cause injury or illness and then force you to slow down. So it's really, that's really key. So the energy is really, really powerful about introspective. It's
Listen to your body and
Right.
listen to your spirits. Your gut is your spirits. When you hear that little voice in your head that says, yeah, don't do that, or it says, yes, please do that, that's your spirits. And just listen, because if you don't listen, you will be forced to listen.
exactly. Don't doubt yourself. You know what I mean? Don't doubt it.
You're way more powerful. I know all of you are way
Some
more
people
powerful
I know
than you realize.
like just married the wrong people because they did not listen to their initial gut. You know what I mean? And then this whole raft of things happen after that. You know what I mean? So listen to it. It could save you some turmoil. We have to learn our lessons, but
And I will say with that, I have a great therapist. She always says, you can't go wrong. So, it's just about choosing either the path of resistance or the path of least resistance. So you can go ahead and choose the path of resistance because you can't go wrong. This windy path will still get you here, or you could just take the path here by listening. Yes.
Just saying.
Yes.
Remember Lord of the Rings? Like, they went through the mountain. So another thing that the book kind of like puts out there, this is not my intuitiveness, it's just kind of like the energy, that if you have to sign anything legal, like a legal document, like anything like that, the energy is asking that you look over every single detail in that document, like backwards, forwards, and backwards again, whatever you need to do. And if you feel comfortable with everything you've read, then go ahead and sign away. You're good to go. But just make sure you take extra precaution before signing anything legal. And like I said before, your desire to be with people that are on the same like plane as you is just really, really strong. And those, when we talk about the 6 and the like relationships, whether it's friendship or romantic, if you go along and you stay in line with the people that are on our path, then when 6 comes back around again, there could be a friendship or relationship that buds from that just just being with those people on your path, and really takes you into a totally different relationship than you've ever had before in your life, which could be,
that's great.
yeah, which could be really fantastic.
And guys, like, also, me and Karen have been talking about this a lot lately. Sometimes people are just supposed to be in your life for a certain amount of time, and then they leave your life, whether it be forever, a couple years, a couple weeks, couple months, whatever. So, like, I've been working on, like, letting go of guilt of separating myself from certain relationships I might have had for a really long time, because I know that right now it's just not serving my highest and greatest good. That doesn't mean this time next year we won't be on the exact same page. It just means right now there's no need to feel guilty in letting go, just like we were talking about with the leaves. We just gotta let it go and just let go and let God. Just trust.
For sure. Absolutely. And the most important thing, and it's the last of this, and like I really, this sums up the energy of the 7. And let's remember that we're coming to the close of one of the most transformational years of our existence. Anybody who is alive right now, old, young, baby, whatever, has never seen this before. Maybe in past lives, but a lot of people don't recognize. And so this energy is new for everybody. And we are on a time, we are on a tipping point of one of the biggest changes of our earth. So as we end the year in a 7, and we come into a vibration of 7 for the month, and come into another, like into the 5 year, as we come into that of the change and the freedom, we end in the 7 because we take this time to rest our energy to fulfill and discover what our soul is, which is a perfect jewel. And as we come into freedom and change, you are the perfect jewel.
The diamond in the rough.
So I can't express enough 7 being all about introspection, and being, even if it's, you have to be home and all of these rules and regulations that you think you need to follow, which you should or you shouldn't, whatever's comfortable for you. If you are at home, really take the time. You got the time, you know what I mean? It's Christmas, have some intimate times with your family, and go into introspection. And it's, you know, it's a really great time. So I really hope that that's helpful for everybody out there. And I hope that we can do it again as we shift into 2021, I guess.
That was incredible. Thank
Yay!
you.
Oh, my papers are flying. I'm celebrating. Thank you.
Yay!
Yay!
That was amazing.
Yay!
That was awesome.
I
Oh,
love-
sorry, you're smushing your face.
I love you.
I love you too. Woohoo! You know, I'm excited too. Hi guys, it's my turn.
Oh, I'm so excited. As you should be.
I am. So we're gonna use my big deck. Also, I just want to throw this out there. Some merch that I'm thinking about. Sam actually helped me come up with this idea because I've got this big deck. I want to get shirts that say Big Deck Energy with like I think I want to put the levers on them. So comment below if that's something that you'd be interested in, if you'd buy that.
You know you would.
I want them to be like black with white writing or white with black writing, so go ahead and comment which you would prefer. So we're gonna get some general tarot, then I'll do the love forecast because I know you guys like to hear about love, and then we're gonna get some totem animal cards for advice in moving forward. So let's do, what do you think? Do you think I should do for the rest of the year? Do you think I should do rest of November and then December? Rest of November, December?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright, Spirit, can you please tell us what to expect for the rest of November, please? Relationships that might not be for your best interest in mind might be trying to come back, or offers that seem too good to be true. Yeah, if they seem too good to be true, it probably is, but let's just see. Rest of November, please. Yeah. Okay, so there will be certain challenges approaching. We have the Nine of Wands here, and then to solidify that, we do have the Devil card. So for me, this is kind of saying to me that there will be relationships that could possibly be trying to resurface in your life that you kind of have closed the door on, that have hurt you in some way or just weren't good for you in some way. So maybe they never actually hurt you, but it just wasn't good for you. Like, say you were in a third-party situation. Maybe that person never hurt your feelings, but it's not good because that person has someone else, you know, they have a girlfriend or a wife or something like that. So you're going to be challenged, and Spirit just said the reason that we're going to be challenged is because the real offer is coming. The big offer, the Ace of Pentacles, is what you've been working for. What I just heard, manifesting, what you've been trying to manifest is trying to come through, but there is going to be one more test before that actually comes through. Now, this doesn't have to relate to relationships. This could be a job. So maybe you left a terrible job because it was sucking the life out of you, and now they're like, we're really short-staffed. Can you just come back? And then you take a shift back, and it's hell on earth all over again.
Agreed.
Anything that they just said, anything you feel like, any situation where you feel like you're settling is going to come back and try to force you, not force you, but try to coerce, that's what they just said, try to coerce you into settling for less than what you deserve or less than what you want. Even if it's in friendships and you like express to a friend, you know, this doesn't work for me, and they were like, okay, and they were good for a while, now that bad behavior is creeping back in. It's about boundary setting, and it's about how much do you respect yourself, how much are you willing to let go of your morals and your boundaries in order to have something rather than the thing you actually want. But Spirit's saying that what you actually want is right around the corner. I'm going to use an example. So I was driving, and I always keep my gas really high. I never go less than a quarter tank, just because I don't like to worry like that. And for whatever reason, I forgot to fill my tank, and I was on empty, and my little light is on, but because I never drive with my light on, I don't know how long I have. So I'm panicking, and I'm trying to get to this gas station that I really like, so I like to support them. They're cheap, they're kind. I just like to support certain businesses that I feel called to support. So I'm trying to get there, and I'm like, I don't know if I'm gonna make it. And Spirit's like, you're gonna make it. And I'm like, but I'm scared. So and for some of you know, I have trauma around driving. You know, I've been in a bad car accident. So sometimes it's hard for me to just trust. And so I'm in the car, and I'm like, I don't know, I should probably just pull over. And they're like, yeah, that's fine. Like, you can pull over, but you don't need to. So I pull over, I get the expensive gas at the, like, you know, the chain gas station and whatever. And then I literally drive like 1.5 minutes down the road to the gas station that I was trying to get to. And Spirit was like, you really didn't have to stop. So now when I'm presented with situations in my life, whether it be a relationship, a job, a friendship, Spirit says, no offense to Sunoco, I went to the Sunoco. They're like, Nikki, this is the Sunoco. You didn't trust us to get to the Roadrunner. That's where I like to go. You didn't trust us to get to the Roadrunner, so you stopped at the Sunoco. You can stop at this Sunoco, but the Roadrunner's right around the corner. And that's exactly what's happening here. Your faith is being tested, as well as your will and your willpower and your boundary setting. And if you do go back to this, so if you do go back to a job, it's going to wear you out, like Karen was saying, where, you know, you might end up getting sick. If you go back to an old friendship, you're going to end up getting hurt. If you go back to an old relationship, you very well might end up getting hurt or pregnant or something that you don't want to happen from that
like I'll
connection.
interject on the numerology. So six, right? The 6 was about how family obligations could come up, and you can cheerfully accept those obligations, but you need to know your boundaries so you don't overextend yourself. This is a perfect example of overextending yourself because you're not being respectful of your own boundaries. So that's like, it's just how they kind of mirror each other. You kind of see that, like, it's,
yes.
You know what I mean? You have, in this situation, we're both talking about understanding and respecting your boundaries, or some illness, or some backlash, or a relationship that you like didn't, and then things get tumultuous, that kind of thing. You know what I mean? Or these energies come up because you're not respecting your own boundaries.
And Spirit just said, no, don't apologize. I did it to you, I did it to Sam, I want you to do it to me. So Spirit just said, you come first. if what you're doing is going to hurt you in some way, it's not good. It's not for you. And also, Spirit was saying with this card, we got the Justice card, do what's right. So if you are in a third-party situation where you're with someone who's married, just do what's right, okay? You know in your heart that you should wait until they're separated if they are in a process of separating, you know, something like that. Or if you're working at this job and you fucking hate it and you're getting screamed at in your face and you can't ever do something right, then do what's right. What's right for you? What's the best thing for you? What's right is to think of yourself as a small child. I do this a lot lately because I'm working through some childhood trauma. If, say you're at a job where your boss disrespects you and like screams in your face, if you have any children in your life, like I have little cousins, I have a lot of children in my life in general, but like, would I let my 5-year-old cousin stand there and be berated by someone and screamed at and treated badly? No. I'd fucking pick them up, I'd put them in my arms, and then I'd bitch out the person screaming at them, and we'd never go back. Treat yourself how you would treat a small child, especially right now how we were talking about just being gentle and kind to ourselves. So do what's right. If you were in that situation where a child was being screamed at, you would do what's right. So do what's right for you as well. And if you, like I was saying, because my last reading, there was the group where there was the third, like it seemed as though there was the third party situation, and sometimes in my readings that does come up. You wouldn't want somebody cheating on you, so just do what's right, you know? So that'll be November, so we're clearing up the last of that in November. Thank you for that clearing. Okay. Okay. December. Spirit, what can you tell us that we can expect through December? Standing in our power.
Oh, look at that.
Mm-hmm. Defending what we've built for ourselves.
Oh.
And our state of mind. Realizing what's too much and what's unstable.
That sounds like a lot of introspection, Nikki. A lot of introspection. A lot of it.
Does. I can't believe what just came out. I'll leave you guys in suspense. Okay, so you are really going to be called to stand in your power in the month of December. Like you were saying, you're going to be asked, what the fuck do I actually want? That's usually Spirit's biggest qualm with me, and usually when they ask, and it's just so perfect. We were talking about manifestation journaling, because that's what I do. When I hear my spirits being like, Nikki, you don't know what you want, so we don't know what you want, so we don't know how to give it to you. That's when I take out the journal, and at first I write down, what do I even fucking want? And then after I figure out what I want, I write like I already have it. So you're going to be really called, like you were saying, to do a lot of introspection, and just to recognize that you're fucking awesome, because people aren't going to respect you if you don't respect yourself. So like if you can't...
Yeah.
Yes, if you can't look in the mirror and be like, I'm a bad bitch, or I'm a bad dude, and nobody out here is good enough for me right now, then it's just like people are going to treat you how you feel you should be treated. So make sure that you recognize your worth, and just like Sam was saying, I want y'all to write a list of all the accomplishments that you made in 2020, all the good things that you did in 2020. I want you to write it and actually sit there and look about it and think about all the good shit that actually has happened, because the human brain, I learned this, the human brain needs 10 positive things to outweigh one negative situation. And I had a great person in my life who, when I was in therapy, they would always say, people have, one bad thing happen to them during the day, and then they say the whole day was bad. And he was like, when in reality, if you can change your perspective and say, yeah, that was a bad moment, but I had a kick-ass day other than that, then you kind of free yourself from that negative cycle. And it's just the way we're wired. So really write down all those good things that happen and really feel that. And also I want you all to write down things that you like about yourself, because so that you can see and I just heard see yourself. Really see yourself. So mirror work would be really good too, to look in the mirror and kind of look into your eyes and tell yourself, I love you, you're good at this, you're beautiful because of this, you're all the good things. So really seeing yourself, really, like you were saying, exposing that light, showing yourself, showing you yourself. You don't have to expose yourself to other people.
No.
No. I just pictured a flasher. So expose yourself to yourself, which could probably be even scarier than exposing yourself to others because you're seeing who you truly are.
Which is why time alone is important.
Yes. So really standing in that power, recognizing your worth, and also balancing out the masculine energy, because we do have the Emperor here, but the Empress didn't come out. So really balancing out, and that's what Sam was talking about as well, the balancing of the masculine and feminine energy. So if you've been leaning more towards masculine energy, take some time to nurture the feminine.
Balance it out.
Yes, if you've been leaning more towards feminine, take some time to really work with the masculine, you know? But either way, you're going to be recognizing your worth. You're going to be standing in your power. Just make it through this little test that we have over here, and you'll see yourself more clearly.
I will add, too, to your journaling, for your manifestation journaling and your positivity journaling. Another thing to really do is ask yourself the question, what truly makes me happy? And
so
and just think on it for a moment. I have to tell you that's from a Deepak 21 meditation challenge from his abundance minutes from that. But it's something that for me personally, I took the moment, and when I started writing, I mean, it all came out. And I realized in that moment that that was my future. It was what I want. And so it was
and
something
what you're going to make happen.
Make happen, exactly. And it helped fuel me and bring me to another level, because I know that the path is going to get there because I decided so.
Yeah.
So, you know, things kind of get a little bit more joyful and happier and less stressed and less like, oh, I got to do this and I got to do that, when you know you're going to get there. You know what I mean? Enjoy your moment. That's kind of like what the journaling helped me do. So another part of introspecting, but really decide what makes you happy.
And can you tell them about that challenge and where they can find it?
I don't know
right?
where you can find some of it's a 21-day abundance Deepak meditation challenge. It got sent to me in like a group. Some of that, I don't know if all of them are on YouTube. There's day 1 through 21. I don't know if you can actually find it, because like I said, it got sent to me through a like private group. So maybe look it up online, maybe possibly.
You can probably
but I know most of them are on YouTube, and normally what it is it's a day of like reflection. There's questions. Like you kind of like you just change your idea of abundance every day, but you like journal every day, and then you do a guided meditation with Deepak as well. And it was really helpful. I did it 5 times. So, but that's just the journaling. Really, Nikki's so right. It changes your mindset. It changes your beliefs. It changes how you see things.
And it, like you were saying, it shows you who the fuck am I and what do I actually want.
Yeah, and it's awesome to finally like figure it out too. So, you know what I mean?
I think that gnome wants to sit with us because he fell down.
Oh, I love them so much.
She's a gnome person.
Oh my god. And we're gonna put him right here,
Perfect.
so he can look on.
Oh, and he has flowers. Oh, buy yourself some flowers. That's something I've been
That's a really
doing.
good idea. Yep.
I've been buying myself flowers like once every couple weeks, and it's a nice thing to do for yourself. And I used to have people make fun of me for it, but I'm at a point where I'm like, yo, if I'm not even buying myself flowers, how can I expect another person to buy me flowers?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so here...
I bought succulents, so it's fine.
That's nice too. Buy yourself a plant. I saw somebody who was buying themselves a plant every time they had a hard day this year, and their whole home was just filled. It was beautiful.
Yeah, and it's so good for you.
And
physically.
it's good for them. Like you're taking care of something else, and it's giving you something in return.
Absolutely.
And it's nice, rather than shopping for things you don't need, like me, like shoes.
It happens though. It's okay. It's okay.
Yes.
Yeah, it's okay.
So with the 9 of Pentacles as well as the 7 of Wands, this month is going to challenge you to fight for what's yours and defend what's yours. And I don't want to say that because I know this is going to be a very stoic kind. It feels like this month is going to be kind of stoic. So I don't mean like fight. I just mean stand up for what's yours. And also, like they just said, stand up for what's right. But here with the 9 of Pentacles, this is like if you have cultivated a mindset in yourself, like we were talking about with the job, I'll just use that as an example again. If you've cultivated a life and a mindset within yourself where you're like, there's certain ways that people are allowed to speak to me, and there's certain ways where people just aren't allowed to speak to me. It's about, like we were saying, defending those boundaries that you've set and saying, no, like, doesn't matter if, like how you're saying money will manifest out of nowhere. You might be tight that month, but it's like saying, no, my peace of mind, my mental health, my well-being, my physical health, my spiritual health, all of my health is more important to me than compromising that for something that I feel like I need that I might not actually even need because Spirit's got your back. And it's just important to defend that. And also, if there is anything in your life that makes you feel out of your power, especially here with the Emperor, if there's anything, if there are friendships, if there are relationships, if there are, work situations, even hobby situations that make you feel less than or make you feel out of your power or make you feel like you don't remember who you are, because remember, we're looking in the mirror and we're really seeing ourselves and we're really recognizing who we are. If there are any sort of situations in your life that make you forget who you are or that bring out the worst in you, it's time to push that out of your life and move on.
So, and that correlates to what we just talked about, how under the 7 energy, you want to associate.
7 of Wands.
7 of Wands. You want to associate with the people that are on your plane.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And if it makes you uncomfortable, then those people are out of your plane. And it's okay if they're not, too. Just remember that, too. It's okay.
A sidebar, too, for relationships, we do have the 9 of Pentacles, which is pre-Empress energy. This is the woman who has everything she needs and everything she wants. She's stable monetarily, emotionally, mentally, spiritually. She doesn't need anything outside of herself. The only thing she needs to make her an Empress is the man to come in, and because the Empress is the pregnant mother. And obviously, you can't make a baby without another person to help you make that.
Mary did it, but that's another discussion.
Most of the time,
it's another discussion.
yes, most of the time, you need something. The 9 of Pentacles just needs the Emperor to come make her the Empress. So it's very interesting to me here that if you can defend this energy within yourself, and you're finding yourself here with the Emperor card, we do have this outside energy of the Emperor that comes in and kind of levels up that 9 of Pentacles into that Empress energy. And like I had mentioned, just be really careful about getting pregnant. This is going to sound funny, but a crow. So when you see a different number of crows, it means different things. So like 1 crow is an omen, 2 crows means like the celebration of like good things coming. 3 crows is the birth of a baby girl or a wedding, and 4 crows is a new beginning or the birth of a boy. And so I see 1 crow out my window and I'm like, uh-oh, what do you got to tell me? And he literally told me that for me personally, but I know this is going to relate to other people, that if you are having sex, especially unprotected sex, even if you're on birth control, right now there's just a lot of babies trying to be born. So if you're having sex between now and January of 2021, for me, there's 100% possibility that I could get pregnant. For y'all, it's probably just a very high possibility and probability. If you're trying to get pregnant, great. This is a really good time to do it. If you're not, be mindful, okay,
yeah, for sure.
about your choices.
For sure.
Because there's just a lot of souls, like you were saying, there's nothing like this that has ever happened in our lifetime. There are a lot of souls that want to be a part of that because this is the big change. This is the big change before the new earth. So they're trying to get down for it. So just make sure you're protecting yourself in the proper way. And even if you need to abstain, like for me personally, I will be abstaining. Like that way I know 100% that I'm not going to get myself into a situation that I don't know how to get myself out of, or that is going to, like we were talking about, kind of gunk up the path along the way.
Take you on the twirly twirls,
Yes. Not to say that a baby would be gunking things.
No.
It would complicate.
It's just trying to live it on a roller coaster, you know what I mean?
Yes, and that's just not something that I'm here for, and I know a lot of you are young too, and I'm sure you're just not ready for that too. But if you are trying to get pregnant, now
go for it.
Time. Okay, so also here with the 10 of Wands and the King of Pentacles, a lot of people right now are, and especially here with the 9 of Pentacles as well, a lot of us are going to be realizing that we don't want someone else to save us. We want to save ourselves. We want to take care of ourselves. We're not going to sit here and wait, oh, I'll be happy when I get that different job. I'll be happy when I move in the new house. I'll be happy when I finally get the husband or boyfriend that I want. We're going to be finding that stability and oneness within ourselves. And I just heard a lot of people are going to be connecting more to God, like the actual God source. Like, it's all well and good to connect to your ancestors, your guides, guardians, angels, your star family. But it's going to be most important, like you were saying, to be connecting to your higher self. How much do you hang out with your higher self, okay? And to be connecting to God. And when we are filling ourselves with ourself and with God, which is also ourself, because we're just a piece of God, we're not going to feel that, we're not going to have that energy of like, oh, just come save me from myself. You're going to be saving yourself from yourself. And you're going to be realizing what's too much and what's not. And also anything that doesn't make you feel stable, especially with, like Sam was saying, with all that fixed energy coming in, anything that does not make you feel stable, like I was saying, anything that makes you question who you are, anything that makes you feel not like, anything that makes you feel less than happy, like you were saying, and anything that is inconsistent or just kind of messes with your peace, it's going to be too much, you're going to drop it, because we do have the Ten of Wands, and we all know what happens with this card. He eventually drops them all because he's carrying too much, along with the sickness. You're going to eventually drop everything if you're carrying too much. So you're just going to be really realizing what you want. You're going to be realizing, you're going to be setting your boundaries. You're going to be taking care of yourselves. And y'all, I knew it was going to come through because, you know, you love the love readings. I love doing the love readings.
She loves it.
I do. So they came out like this. We got the Queen of Wands and the King of Wands, all right? You're manifesting your life, and your person is manifesting their life. Now, it's interesting to me that they came out literally facing the other direction. I'm going to just bring it up to the camera so you guys can see. She's looking in her direction, and he's looking in his direction. This is a really good sign for me because it means... And the cards that just fell down were the Ten of Pentacles and, okay, the Ten of Pentacles... Okay, these, I'm just going to put you here because I'm going to get to you after. So, it's just, Spirit's so funny. So it's like you've been focusing on yourself, your person's been focusing on their self, especially if you're in some sort of twin flame connection here. And it's like y'all are in each other's energy, you're just not necessarily wanting to show each other that you're paying attention to each other's energy.
Very true.
So y'all,
that's spot on.
It's going to be this little dance between you guys, but it's going to be good because they're facing away from each other, that I know you're still going to do the work on yourself. They're still going to do the work on themselves. And then remember when I was saying, then we hit 2021, January, February, March. That's going to be when it shifts from this to, all right, we did the work on ourselves. Now we can work with each other because we don't have to work on ourselves within a relationship while trying to work on the relationship too. Now, the Ten of Pentacles fell down as well as the Hermit. So, and the Three of Wands. So this is telling me that a situation that made you really go within and reflect on who you are and how you deal with situations and how you love, with the Three of Swords here, something that really hurt you, but that you were able to grow and change from, okay? Like a lot of twin flame relationships, this connection, and I'm not talking toxic, I'm not talking abusive or toxic, y'all know the difference. Something that hurt you, that forced you to go hermit mode, to figure out who you are, what you want, and like everything we've been talking about, that is going to come back, and when it comes back, it will be transmuted. So transmuting energy is alchemy, turning lead into gold, turning water into wine, turning something ugly into something beautiful, okay? Transmuting trauma, transmuting relationships, transmuting our wants, okay? That will be transmuted, something painful, just like the lotus flower. It grows in the ugliest, nastiest, smelliest mud, but what comes out is something really beautiful and evolved and spiritual. So from this, you will transmute that energy into everything you've ever wanted. Here with the Ten of Pentacles, that's having everything. That's having not only all of your emotional needs met, your spiritual, mental, and physical needs met, but also all of your monetary needs met. So this is like not only just a happy relationship, this is the happy relationship with the nice ass house and on the lake, and you have the physical, monetary, you know, material things that you're enjoying along with that loving connection, the communication, the date nights, whatever it is that you want. It's literally having it all. And then the Three of Wands is our ships coming in. Something you've been waiting for a really long time, something that you've been really trying to manifest is coming in. And whatever that is, it's this Queen of Wands, King of Wands energy of your divine counterpart coming in, right? Of the Emperor coming in for that Nine of Pentacles, taking it to the next level. The ship's finally coming in to where you're happy and things are different. But you couldn't have had this happiness when this connection first came into fruition, because you weren't the same person, right? You weren't this Nine of Pentacles. You weren't in your Emperor or Empress power. You were different, right? You were in this Three of Swords energy. So you could not have had the happy things when this first manifested, and now you're at a point where you've transmuted energy to be able to have the happy things, because you're completely different, and so is your person. You're both not only mirroring each other, but you're both choosing to stand in your power, you're both manifesting, and you're both transmuting your traumas and your pains and the things that you're supposed to change and the things that you're supposed to grow from. You're doing all that work. So...
Did that just blow your mind? I know it did.
That the cards just felt like that.
Yeah, it blew your mind.
Comment that little exploding head emoji if that's how you...
I can make it, I wish I had something come out of my head, but you know what I mean?
That'd be nice.
But I know.
But I actually don't want your head to explode.
No, me either. You're right.
Okay, so let's get some love advice. Spirit, what can you tell us about the rest of November love advice? Trust. Release. Perfect. And calling in your soulmate. Oh, this one wants to come out too. And engagement. Like you were saying, things are shifting to a different level. Okay, so first thing we got was trust. The situation is calling for you to have faith. So like I was saying, let go and let God, really let God and just the God source energy, universal, whatever you believe in, really just let it do its thing without trying to gunk up the dream space with your own. What you think you want is not always what you need, and what you're wanting you know is not good for you, but you're wanting it anyway. Like I was talking about that karmic energy. Trust that it's all under control, okay? And this is also a situation in blind faith. They just told me the gas station again. Can you trust that you're going to make it to the gas station you want, or do you have to stop at the sidebar and settle for like a month or two and then be like, oh yeah, then get to your gas station? No, you just got to trust. You got to just go to the gas station you want to go to. Release your ex. The time has come to clear your energy. This has to do with those of you who are in karmic situations, whether it's friendships, work, or love. You must release to receive. There's not going to be space in your life. Yo, I'm getting talked to directly right now. There's not going to be space in your life to receive what you deserve if you continue to entertain a certain situation that is not for your highest and greatest good. And if you need to have that, like say it's with your parents. They're always going to be your parents. It's like Karen said, it's setting those really strong boundaries and not crossing them yourself and not allowing the other people to cross them. And then we have engagement. Your love life is ascending to a higher level of commitment. So like we had talked about, perhaps now you're actually dating and you're not seeing any other people. Maybe you're engaged now, or maybe, like I had said, maybe this person has come back to your life, into your life in some way. There's some way in which there's going to be, they just said there's going to be some solid indication of your person, of your King of Wands to your Queen of Wands coming in. You're going to see something, or you're going to feel something. But I do feel like there is going to be some sort of solid physical sign, whether it's from them or the universe, that shows you, yeah, they've taken the next step. They're on the path with me. Now another one fell out. We have soulmate, and it goes perfectly with calling in your soulmate. Your prayers, affirmations, and visualizations help to bring you together. Yes, this is your soulmate for soulmate. So, like we were talking about the manifestation journaling, your prayers and affirmations and visualizations are what bring you there. And like I said, really travel into the future when you have those things that you're wanting.
And you can do that during a meditation journey. You can travel into the future all you want and live there for like a minute. It's like, and that's a vacation, you know?
It's your vacation. Okay, and I'm just going to put these back in because I feel called to. Let's do December. So Spirit, can you please tell us what we should expect for December and our advice for love? Okay, that makes a lot of sense. We'll take them all.
Oh, she will. I love when a lot fall. It gets me really excited.
So we got forgiving and learning, make the effort, past life relationship, retreat, healing family issues, and love yourself first. So this makes a lot of sense. So with the, okay, this makes so much sense. So remember that karmic test that's going to come back? That to me is this past life relationship card, and it's because there is a piece of you that is still not healed from whatever this karma is teaching you. Now, me and Karen were having a really good conversation where we were realizing that not all karmic relationships are like drag out, narcissistic, abusive, whatever. I have had that. She has had that.
Yes.
You know, a lot of us have had that kind of a karmic relationship, but sometimes there's just little things that we need to clear up because this relationship is reflecting back something in ourselves that needs to be healed that we either don't see or that we're ignoring. So this past life relationship, and I also had a realization that, you know, sometimes those karmic partners, even if they were really painful to us in this life, maybe they were really amazing to us in another life. And it's just accepting that that's why you might still have that love or those feelings for that person, or even like someone who wasn't terrible for us, but like I was talking about the third party situations, like if your person's already married and they're never going to get a divorce, that's the path that they've chosen for this life. So just recognizing that in this life it's not going to be that, but maybe in another life you were really happy and you had all the things that you want in this life, but accepting that the two of you decided to make that decision for your souls to journey in this way in this life and to experience something different. Okay, so with that past life relationship, it's going to be kicking up a lot of old wounds and kind of shining, not a lot, so I feel like we did a lot of the work here in November. In December it's going to be the residuals, and the card says, as you release and heal the past, you experience more love in your present moment. So it's like you might be thinking like, oh, like I generally enjoy my life, but sometimes I feel like shit. What is it in me that I need to heal so that I am not feeling like shit on those days, you know? And like I just said, they said it's not going to be a lot, but it's going to be enough that makes you feel like, why, you know? But yeah, so this karmic lesson is going to come up in December. It's going to help you do some forgiving and learning within yourself. And for those of you who have people coming back, it's going to be a challenge for you to learn how to forgive this person and recognize that maybe you made some wrong assumptions about them. So maybe they hurt you and you were thinking, oh, I hate them and I'm never going to talk to them again. Maybe that's not the case. Maybe they were just in a bad place and you were in a bad place, and hurt people hurt people. And so you're going to have to really, like I was saying, transmute your idea of who they are and see them actually for who they are. And then we have make the effort. Great love is worth taking the steps you're guided to take. So this to me is saying not only should we be doing our homework that I'm giving you in this video, because you know me, I always give homework. So not only should we be doing our homework, but also we need to be making the effort to see other people's perspectives as well. So like I was saying, transmuting that energy of recognizing because souls, like your soul is going to recognize another person's soul, but you might have a certain perception of them that is untrue. And so making that effort, like it's okay to change your mind. It's okay to realize you were wrong. It's okay to realize you were right. Okay, so just making the effort to be open-minded to receive as well as release, as well as understand, and to see things from other people's perspectives. And then we have retreat. The time has come to disconnect from the world. So this has to do with what you were saying about going within and looking at yourself from within. But this is also telling me it's time to retreat back from whatever that karmic situation was. You're going to have the test. You must pull back and retreat and choose you. Remember, like I said, you must choose you over everything and anything else. And then with the karmic situation, we have love yourself first. Your self-respect makes you more romantically attractive. So like I was saying, there's not going to be space in your life for the Ace of Pentacles, for the real thing to come, if you're not respecting yourself and if you're settling for less. So your self-respect makes you more romantically attractive, you are going to attract what you actually want by having the self-respect and releasing what it is that you need to release, by making the effort and retreating, by allowing your mind to change, and by forgiving and learning and releasing the past. And then we also have healing family issues. Your love life benefits as you forgive your parents, and it doesn't just have to be your parents. It can be all aspects of family, and just like you were speaking about with the setting boundaries with family and family, leaning more on family during this time of year. So really healing those wounds within yourself that were created by your family, but doing it with a loving and open heart and a different perspective, like I was saying. So like, perhaps recognizing that, like, I don't know about you, but when my parents had me, they were pretty young. Like, my mom was only 25 when she had me, and, like, I'm 28, and I'm not even, like, thinking about marriage yet, and with no kids. So, like, just recognizing, you know, maybe at 25, there were these things that didn't go so great in my childhood, but recognizing that my mom was just a kid. My mom was a kid with kids, you know? And every person is doing the best that they can in every moment, most people. So just looking at it from that perspective, looking through the eyes, looking through compassionate eyes at these situations, and also just making an active effort to heal during the holidays, because I know the holidays can be really triggering. There can be a lot of fights with family, and it's just, it gets muddy. Like, holidays are hard for a lot of people. The suicide rate goes way up during the holiday season, but instead of kind of falling into the pain and dwelling on past traumas, just really, like I was saying, figuring out how you can transmute it. And you have to be the bigger person. You have to be the one to set the boundaries with the karmic. You have to be the one to be doing the forgiving. You have to be the one to be manifesting. Like I said, you're going to be saving yourself, and everything else, you're just not going to want to be a part of anything that makes you feel out of your power or makes you feel like you need it to be okay. And that's just really perfect. And now we will get some totem animals, and I will read these from the book because I like to read what the book says with this one. Spirit, what totem animal messages do you have for us for the rest of 2020? The unicorn.
Oh, I love the unicorn.
The crocodile. Perfect. And the black egg. This came out for Libra season. That's so interesting. This came out for Libra season. January will also be a 6 energy, so we're going back to fix whatever it was that we needed to fix in Libra season. This is so fun. I'm really enjoying myself.
She loves it. I love it.
Okay, so I do want to say that we have 2 spirit cards. So the unicorn and the black egg are both spirit cards, and then the crocodile is a water card. So it's like we have these 2 we have this physical energy sandwiched between these 2 spiritual energies. So I will read the unicorn first. That's the third eye chakra. A lot of you might be getting a lot more psychic during this time or having more visions. Pay attention to your dreams. You could be having prophetic dreams or just visions, like when you're right before you fall asleep, the veil is very thin.
So that's really important about the journaling that we talked about, and the numerology of 7 as well. Those visions, those dreams, especially right now, like we are shifting, like we said, and I'm going to say it again, like we've never shifted before. No one has ever experienced this that's living at this time. So in that shifting, I lost my train of thought.
What was I talking about? I lost it too. Oh, the third eye, the dreams.
The dreams and the visions. Sorry, bring me back. So it's really important if you have because of this energy, people are experiencing visions and dreams that they never have experienced before, because the energy is allowing for that to happen. The energy is shifting so that your psychic powers and your ability to see, everybody has it. This enables more and more people to be aware of it and to see it. Write it down in the journal, because you can have them. Some things will be profound and they'll never leave you, but some things will come through for maybe somebody else that you know, or like things like that. You kind of forget sometimes. Sometimes I do. So write them down. You know what I mean? That's why the journaling is just as important. I just had that.
No, that's great. And also, like, if you are someone who just is constantly channeling, there's no way you can remember everything that's coming through. So really, like you're saying, it's important to write down the things that really you feel are important to write down.
Yep.
Okay, so we have the unicorn. Reconnecting to higher wisdom or divinity. It's difficult to see, hear, or think of a unicorn without immediately questioning if it's real. Did they ever exist? Perhaps long, long ago? The mind answers maybe, or it could be, or no way. This very contemplation explains our relationship with divinity and encapsulates our wavering belief in the unicorn. We wonder what divinity is. We wonder where our intuition comes from and if we can really trust it. We think about a higher power and our mind hesitates between yes, no, and maybe. Is it male or female? Does it have a name? Is it just a feeling? The unicorn card appears and wakes us up to curiosity about the higher self and the divine. It is a card of questioning, exploring, and contemplating the inexplicable. The mind's eye knows there is something beyond our day-to-day lives, a deeper dimension to our experiences. The mind's eye reaches and reaches and reaches out to grasp something more. You are the unicorn, and you have begun your quest and the answers. And I want to show you the picture in here because this is like what I felt and what I envisioned in my head when you, Karen, were talking about like exposing yourself.
Yes.
And then
and the 7 is all about the spiritual, mystical, and that's what the unicorn is about.
And I love that there's a question mark in there. The unicorn and the 6th chakra. It's no surprise that the subtle essence of the unicorn card resides in the 3rd eye, the exact place from which the unicorn's horn extends. The center is called the Anja chakra, or command center. Sorry if I mispronounced that. The ancient yogis believed it to be responsible for our intellect, intuition, and the deepest wisdom. Some say our 2 eyes see the past and present, while our 3rd eye peers into the future. Which is like what we were talking about.
I know.
I just love when it's copacetic.
It's just flowing.
Uh-huh. Alright. Water. Crocodile. Love it. Always love a good reptile energy. Resting, submerging, collecting energy, and cooling off. What could be more cool than the winter solstice?
You know?
The crocodile reminds us to step back from the external world and turn inward. Now is not the time for decisions, actions, or discussions, like you were talking about with the contracts.
Yes.
The crocodile's mantra is wait. This doesn't mean lying around hoping life's challenges will disappear. The crocodile is much smarter than that. It means intentionally withdrawing, gathering your awareness, observing, and building energy. Fill up the vital reserves so your next move comes from a place of wisdom and power. When in balance, wise, patient, and a silent powerhouse. When out of balance, feels stuck or lashes out. To bring into balance, rest. And Makarasana pose. I probably pronounced that wrong, but good information. And then the black egg. Spirit just said a lot of divine masculines could be hanging back right now. Remember how I was saying there will be some sort of physical or spiritual sign of this person coming back into your life, the ascent, like you were saying, the ascension to the next level. But I feel as though there could be a lot of divine masculine energy that is kind of in this crocodile energy, and I just heard it's because I don't want to fuck it up. And I don't know if y'all remember, I did one reading where I talked about how someone's, like, the person in that reading was like magic conching, which like that episode of SpongeBob where they just, the magic conch is like, what do we do? And they're like, it's like nothing. And then they're like, they just sit there and they magic conch. So that's the energy that I feel like they're in, but it's because they're observing. They're not magic conching where they're like frozen in time like before, because that was over the summer. Now they've shifted. Now they're in this crocodile energy of like surveying but holding back because they're trying to figure out how they can do this right. Remember the Justice card came out? How can we do things right, you know? Okay. The black egg. The black egg, speaking from an authentic voice and the truth. You were saying the false foundations are falling away and the truth is coming forward. The black egg contains one of life's essential treasures, the truth. Inside of it resides no confusion, excuses, small talk, noise, or lies, not even white lies. This living and breathing vessel harbors only that which rings true. When this essence is in balance, we speak slowly and clearly. We are drawn to activities like writing, reading, teaching, singing, or perhaps public speaking. Sounds draw us in. Books draw us in. The concept of truth itself draws us in. We start asking questions like, what do I know to be true about myself? And what is true about the world? And there's a difference between what you believe and what you know. So just try to remember that. When the energy of the black egg is not yet accessed, we speak from an unsure place. We say things others want to hear, gossip, or repeat stories to justify our subpar behavior. We might even try to convince ourselves that we have no inner truth at all. The energy of the black egg hovers and waits for us to reconnect. It is available at every moment in every situation. It's the epicenter of truth and the birthplace of our voice. The subtle essence of this card resides at the base of the throat. At the Vishuddha chakra, the ancient sages saw this center as the hub that governs our speech and expression. Vishuddha translates as especially pure. The balance of this center is important for all of us, but is especially essential for writers, editors, musicians, and teachers. And I want to show you this picture as well, because it's very similar to the other one.
Oh, yes.
Wow, that was great. That was so fun. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I really loved it. I hope you enjoyed meeting my friends.
Thanks for having me.
Yes, thank you so much. This was my first collab. So comment, guys. Let me know. Me, Karen, and Sam would like to do this once a month.
That'd be awesome.
Comment if you'd like to see that. Also, answer the merch questions down there if you're interested in that. And just let me know what you think. Like if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe if you'd like to see more from me. I will be getting out a new pick a card for you right around the time that this is being uploaded as well, because I'm going to be having a little bit more time to do it. And yeah, I love you guys. And I will talk to you soon.
It was great.
Yeah. Bye. So I want to do one of these. Put your hand, and then I'm going to start it, and then you send it back, okay? Oh, woo!
Okay, I'm not used to this.
Okay, so pause so that I can cut it, and then go whenever. This is gonna be in the bloopers. We should do a chain. I'll put some stuff at the end for the people who
funny.
watch to the end.